Recently, Cybershell made a great video about obscure Earthbound dialogue, where he talks about text in the game that is easy to miss, but he mentions some dialogue in the Earthbound text dump that he can't seem to figure out how to trigger. In this video, we're going to figure out how to get this dialogue to appear. First, let's look at what we currently know. This text seems to be spoken by Pokey in Forside in the Monotoli building, and he talks about trout yogurt. So it's safe to say that we're supposed to see this around the point in the game around Moonside. Now, let's look at the game's code to find our answer. The Coil Snake program allows you to decompile Earthbound, including sprite art, text, and data values. It's really cool, and I recommend any aspiring video game modder who's a fan of Earthbound to check it out. First, let's find the rich Pokey NPC. Looking at the map editor, Pokey is NPC 865. Now let's go to the NPC configuration table file and search for NPC 865. We are given a lot of info about this NPC, such as its sprite, the direction it faces, and most importantly, what text appears when you talk to it. Text pointer 1 is saying we're in memory to get the data for the resulting text. Text pointer 2 is used for the text that occurs when you use an item on this NPC. It is set to 0 as there's no dialogue for using an item on Pokey. Now let's head to the pointer inside the data25 file. It's right here. Now this is pretty confusing to look at, so let's try to understand. This decompiled version of Earthbound uses CC script or control code script. These codes can execute certain commands and often have parameters. This in the brackets is the control code, and it follows this format. The 06 control basically asks, is this XXXX flag set? If yes, go to memory address YYYYYY. If not set, just continue. In this case, XXXX is 4B00. Flag 4B, or in decimal flag 75, is set if you defeat the many statue in Moonside. The Y is represented by a memory address. Heading to this memory address, we see it's the text we've been on a hunt for. So it seems like destroying the many statue is what gives Pokey this dialogue. However, we can see that at the beginning of this new dialogue, we see this control code. What this code is saying is, if flag 7102 is set, go to this memory address. This explains why this text is so obscure. If this flag is set, this goes back to the normal dialogue. Following the dialogue tree, eventually we get to the part where the guards take you out back. The code in this part does a number of things, but the important thing is this part where we set flag 625. If this flag is the same as the aforementioned flag 7102, we figured it out. To test this, we can do some editing, and now the two guards will allow us to set these flags at will. After some testing, let's see the results. Based on the testing, this is what I found. If neither flag is set, Pokey will dialogue as normal. Same for if flag 625 is set. If the flag for defeating the many statue is set, this new dialogue will appear as long as 625 is not set. So flag 625 is what's stopping us from seeing this dialogue after Moonside. So if you talked to Pokey before, you will not be able to see this dialogue. Let's conclude our findings. When you talk to Pokey, the game checks if you have defeated many. If you have, then it will do the trout yogurt dialogue. This will not happen if you talked to Pokey before, as talking to Pokey before Moonside sets a flag that prevents the trout yogurt dialogue from appearing. In the end, it seemed pretty simple, though it was fun to try to figure out what happened, wasn't it? The question of why this is up to debate. Did they want the dialogue to be obscure? Did they make a mistake? Who knows? If you have any information regarding this, or maybe any correction because I'm a big doofus, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Big thanks to Cybershell for his video, and for a short by Muck and as would help me out, links to both in the description. See ya.